just recorded this entire video, but my mic wasn't on. So, Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1 is here, baby. Yahoo! And it was brilliant, so let's talk about it. Quickly first though, I just want to say, I did not know that this was coming out on March the 1st. Just somehow, I just didn't know. I'm recording this on March the 1st when it came out, but I'll probably be editing it and it'll be uploaded a few days later. But anyways, I only realized it was out today because my dad texted me saying, "Are you looking forward to Mandalorian?" How did I not know? I love The Mandalorian and I love Star Wars. How did I not know it was coming out today? How is that possible? I didn't see a single post by anybody on social media. I didn't see a single Star Wars post come up in any of my feeds. Because bearing in mind, I follow all the Star Wars accounts on most social medias. I didn't see once a countdown until I looked on the Instagram and I saw, oh, they have posted it's coming out today. How didn't I see it? How was it not on any of my feeds? But anyways, I watched it on the day it came out. So let's talk about it. The beginning of the episode, you open on this kind of initiation scene for this youngling Mandalorian, which was really brilliant. It was in a fantastic scene. It was really well choreographed. You got to see all these Mandalorians in all their kind of glory. And then you also got this cool fight scene with this giant creature. Now, at first, I thought this was a flashback to Din Djarin's kind of initiation when he was a child, which I thought was cool at first. But then when I saw his Naboo starfighter come in, I was like, oh, this is happening now, which was also just as cool. It was nice filmmaking. It kind of kept me guessing and I didn't even realize. So that whole first sequence was just fantastic. It really hinted towards that like beefy Mando that I know is played by Jon Favreau. So I think he will definitely come back. I think he will play a big part in this season. I don't know anything about the season. I don't know if there's been leaks about what's happening, but I feel like he'll play a big part in it. So obviously the Mandalorian at the end of, was it Book of Boba Fett? I can't remember because it basically was like Mandalorian season 2.5. Anyway, the last time we saw Mando, he was disgraced by Mandalorian kind for taking off his helmet, which is a bit unfair, really. I mean, the first time he did it, he didn't really mean to, did he? You better stop! Regardless, so he's been disgraced by Mando kind, and he wants back, basically. Which to be honest, I think is kind of like a weak plot line. From what I can remember, he seemed to kind of stop agreeing with the old Mandalorian ways, or I think it would be more interesting if he did stop agreeing with them. But the fact that he's kind of like, please take me back. I don't know, it don't really work with me, but it wasn't bad. I think it was still pretty cool, and it obviously sets up a nice journey and a quest for him this season. He explains to the armorer that there is a way for him to kind of reconcile with Mandalorian kind, so he can be part of the tribe again, or part of the crew again. That's going to be the plot of this season, is he wants to become a Mandalorian again. And he wants to explore Mandalore, and he wants to earn his place back in his tribe, which is pretty cool, actually. I quite like that. So that takes us to Navarro. Yeah. And we see Carl Weathers is back. Yeah. Anytime Carl Weathers is in this, I love it, because I love Carl Weathers. And he's there because he obviously wants to explore Mandalorian, but as to his knowledge, it's kind of like this wasteland, this toxic wasteland, and he needs something to help him kind of navigate it. So we get to see this cool statue of IG-11, the droid voiced by Taika Waititi in the first season. Basically, he's come because he wants the assassin droid. He wants to fix him. The statue's kind of made out of his parts. Now, it's kind of unclear if he went there with this idea or he went there just to see Carl Weathers and then he sees the statue of IG-11 and it gives him the idea. Not very clear, but either way, I guess it doesn't really matter. He sees Carl Weathers, he kind of explains what he wants from him, and then we get this cool like standoff scene with a few pirates. They get called out to see some cool pirates and there's like a Weequay there. But we get this cool standoff with them, which is kind of your bog standard Star Wars cowboy face-off scene, which is great, and also sets up another plot thread, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So that's cool. They take the IG-11 parts up to Carl Weathers' office, they start to fix IG-11. And then it starts to attack them, which kind of we all expected that to happen. They defeat IG-11. Everything's kind of okay. He decides, right, I'm going to take it and fix it myself. That's when Carl Weathers says, well, I've got a crack team of droid experts. And that's when we see, I can't remember what he said the species was, but they were all the Babu Freak species, which is awesome. They were all stop motion animated too, just perfect. I really like that. And it's kind of bringing a bit more justice to the sequels, because we all know that the sequels weren't good. The filmmakers kind of saying, you know, we do know they existed and we're going to take, I like that they're taking the best parts of that and they're making some new stuff with it. So that was brilliant. They can't fix it. We get a nice bit of scene there with Grogu. Then they move on and they tell him that they need a special, is it memory chip? They need a memory chip that they don't make anymore. So there we go. That's the side quest. I think one of the things I love most about Mandalorian is that it's like an RPG game coming to like a series format, where he has like his main quest, but to get through the main quest, he has to complete all these little side quests to get there. It's, to my knowledge, it's never really been done before as a series, so it's really fresh, and obviously kind of all of Mandalorian has been like that. But I really like it, and I think it's really working. Even though it is quite formulaic, I kind of still find myself enthralled in the story. You know what I mean? And I think that's good filmmaking. Yeah, so that sends us on our way for the rest of the season. Mandalorian comes across those pirate guys from before, who has a bit of a grudge with them now. We get this fantastic space battle scene. It's so good. I've never seen a space battle kind of with a narrative like that. You know, you can't, if you think about Batman films where he's like in the shadows and he's lurking and all the criminals are scared of him. Imagine that with spaceships in an asteroid field, and that's what this was. So it was fantastic. And then we kind of get this pirate guy, the pirate leader, who kind of has a grudge with him, which is another side quest that's definitely going to come back at some point. Then the episode ends with him going to see Bo-Katan in a Mandalorian castle. And Bo-Katan, she obviously has a big grudge against Mando because he has the Darksaber. And I have a feeling that she will end up being the big bad of this series. I think there's other plot lines there for kind of who might be smaller big bads, but I really think the big twist to this is she's going to want to try and essentially kill him and get the Darksaber. That's really what it seems like, because all of her people have deserted her because she hasn't got the Darksaber, which is a bit unfair. Poor Bo-Katan, because she didn't have it before and they didn't desert her, so... But they've all deserted her now, and she's got nothing, and she's obviously a little bit miffed about it, but, you know, she wants to get something out of it. So that's definitely where this season's going. And that's the episode kind of wrapped up in a nice bow. Overall, it was a brilliant first episode. It set up a lot of plot lines in quite a short amount of time. It's about 35 minutes. I think there was kind of some bits I didn't really... They were a bit cheesy, didn't land well. Like the pirate kind of leader guy, it was just so goofy. Not bad. I think that's kind of one of the great parts about this is how goofy some of the characters look. But I loved seeing Navarro as a sprawling kind of metropolis now. That was brilliant. Mando, obviously just seeing Mando again, and the Naboo Starfighter and Grogu was brilliant. Yeah, I think there's some really cool plot lines that have been threaded here. There's not really much to say about the season yet, but as a standalone episode, I thought it was just fine. It was brilliant. It did some good stuff. It wasn't anything special, you know, it wasn't really anything memorable, but it was a great way to set up the rest of the season. So overall, I'd probably give it about a 7 because it was great. It didn't really serve much other than setting things up. So that was The Mandalorian, Season 3, Episode 1. Let me know what you guys think. I'm kind of eager to hear your thoughts about it. Cannot wait for the next episode. We'll do another video when that one comes out. We'll keep up with this series. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Pop it in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and subscribe for more videos. Thank you very much.